Hi, I am Felix, and I am working on my Bible reading to also expand my speaking capacity. And so I'll go ahead and put my Star of David kippah on, and we will say the blessing for studying Torah. It is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Hashem, our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us to engage in his words of Torah. So I'm going to read Ezra 6 and 7. Thereupon, at the order of King Darius, they searched the archives where the treasures were stored in Babylon. But it was in the citadel of Ecbatana, in the province of Media, that a scroll was found in which the following was written. Memorandum. In the first year of King Cyrus issued an order concerning the house of Hashem in Jerusalem. Let the house be rebuilt, a place for offering sacrifices, with a base built up high. Let it be 60 amot high and 60 amot wide, with a course of unused timber for each 3 courses of hewn stone. The expense shall be paid by the palace. And the gold and silver vessels of the house of Hashem, which Nebuchadnezzar had taken away from the temple in Jerusalem and transported to Babylon, shall be returned, and let each go back to the temple in Jerusalem where it belongs. You shall deposit it in the house of Hashem. Now you, Tattenai, governor of the province of beyond the river, Shethar-Bozenai and colleagues, the officials of the province of beyond the river, stay away from that place. Allow the work of this house of Hashem to go on. Let the governor of the Yehudim and the elders of Yehudim rebuild this house of Hashem on its site. And I hereby issue an order concerning what you must do to help these elders of the Yehudim rebuild this house of Hashem. The expenses are to be paid to this man with dispatch out of the resources of the king, derived from the taxes of the province of beyond the river, so that the work not be stopped. They are to be given daily, without fail, whatever they need, of young bulls, rams, or lambs as burnt offerings for the God of heaven, and wheat, salt, wine, and oil at the order of the Kohanim in Jerusalem, so that they may offer pleasing sacrifices to the God of heaven and pray for the life of the king and his sons. I also issue an order that whoever alters this decree shall have a beam removed from his house, and he shall be impaled on it and his house confiscated. And may the God who established his name there cause the downfall of any king or nation that undertakes to alter or damage that house of Hashem in Jerusalem. I, Darius, have issued the decree. Let it be carried out with dispatch. Then Tattenai, governor of the province of beyond the river, Shethar-Bozenai, and their colleagues carried out with dispatch what King Darius had written. So the elders of the Yehudim progressed in the building, urged on by the prophesying of Haggai, the Navi, and Zechariah, son of Iddo, and they brought the building to completion under the aegis of the God of Israel, and by the order of Cyrus and Darius and King Artaxerxes of Persia. The house was finished on the 3rd of the month of Adar in this 6th year of the reign of King Darius. Adar is usually around in March. The Israelites, the Kohanim, and the Leviim, and all the other exiles celebrated the dedication of the house of Hashem with joy. And they sacrificed for the dedication of this house of Hashem 100 bulls, 200 rams, 400 lambs, 12 goats as a purification offering for all of Israel, according to the number of the tribes of Israel. They appointed the Kohanim in their courses and the Leviim in their divisions for the service of Hashem in Jerusalem, according to the prescription in the book of Moses. The returned exiles celebrated the Passover on the 14th day of the first month. which is the beginning of the new year in the month of Nisan. That is usually March or April. For the Kohanim and Leviim had purified themselves to a man, they were all pure. They were slaughtered the Passover offering for all the returned exiles and for their brother Kohanim for themselves. The children of Israel who had returned from the exile, together with all who had joined them in separating themselves from the uncleanliness of the nations of the lands to worship the God of Israel, ate of it. They joyfully celebrated the festival of Passover for 7 days, for Hashem had given them cause for joy by inclining the heart of the Assyrian king toward them, so as to give them support in the work of the house of Hashem, the God of Israel. After these events, during the reign of King Artaxerxes of Persia, Ezra, son of Sariah, son of Azariah, son of Chokiah, son of Shalom, son of Zadok, son of Akituv, son of Amariah, son of Azariah, son of Marioth, son of Zariah, son of Uzi, son of Buki, son of Abusha, son of Pinhas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the chief Cohen. So this is Aaron. He was the brother of Moses, and he had a son named Eleazar, who had a son named Pinhas. Okay, so goes back that far. That's how far their line goes back. That Ezra came up from Babylon, a scribe expert in the teaching of Moses, which God of Israel had given, whose request the king had granted in its entirety, thanks to the benevolence of Hashem toward him. Some of the Israelites, the Kohanim and the Leviim, the singers, the gatekeepers, and the temple servants, set out for Jerusalem in the 7th year of King Artaxerxes, arriving in Jerusalem in the 5th month, in the 7th year of the king. On the 1st day of the 1st month, the journey up from Babylon was started, and on the 1st day of the 1st of the 5th month, he arrived in Jerusalem thanks to the benevolent care of his God for him. I'll give that a shot in the Hebrew. Ki bi'echad lachodesh harishon hu yasud ha'ma'alami ba velu ve'echad lachodesh ha'chamishi ba El Yerushalayim kayad Elohav Hatova alav. For Ezra had dedicated himself to the study of the teaching of Hashem so as to observe it and to read, to teach laws and rules to Israel. The following is the text of the letter which King Artaxerxes gave Ezra the Cohen scribe, a scholar in the matters concerning the commandments of Hashem and his laws to Israel. Artaxerxes, king of kings, to Ezra the Cohen, scholar in the law of the God of heaven, and so forth. And now I hereby issue an order that anyone in my kingdom who is of the people of Israel and its Kohanim and Leviim, who feels impelled to go to Jerusalem, may go with you. For you are commissioned by the king and his 7 advisors to regulate Yehudah and Jerusalem according to the law of your God which is in your care, and to bring the freewill offering of silver and gold which the king and his advisors made to the God of Israel, whose dwelling is in Jerusalem, and that whatever silver and gold you find throughout the province of Babylon, together with the freewill offerings that the people and the Kohanim will give for the house of their God, which is in Jerusalem. You shall therefore with dispatch acquire with this money bulls, rams, and lambs, and with their meal offerings and libations, and offer them on the Mizbeach of the house of your God in Jerusalem. And whatever you wish to do with the leftover silver and gold, you and your kinsmen may do in accordance with the will of your God. The vessels for the service of the house of your God that are given to you, deliver to Hashem in Jerusalem. and and any other needs of the house of your God that it falls to you to supply, do so from the royal treasury. I, King Artaxerxes, for my part, hereby issue an order to all the treasurers in the province of beyond the river that whatever request Ezra the Cohen, scholar in the law of God of heaven, makes of you is to be fulfilled with dispatch. Up to the sum of 100 kikorot of silver, 100 kor of wheat, 100 batim of wine, 100 batim of oil, and salt without limit. Whatever is by the order of the God of heaven must be carried out diligently for the house of God of heaven, else wrath will come upon the king and his sons. We further advise you that it is not permissible to impose tribute, poll tax, or land tax on any Cohen, Levi, singer, gatekeeper, temple servant, or other servant of this house of Hashem. And you, Ezra, by the divine wisdom you possess, appoint magistrates and judges to judge all the people in the province of beyond the river, who know the laws of your God, and to teach those who do not know them. Let anyone who does not obey the law of your God and the law of the king be punished with dispatch, whether by death, corporal punishment, confiscation of possessions, or imprisonment. Blessed is the God of our fathers who put it into the mind of the king to glorify the house of Hashem in Jerusalem, and who inclined the king and his counselors and the king's military officers to be favorably disposed towards me. For my part, thanks to the care of Hashem for me, I summon up courage and assemble leading men in Israel to go with me. And I think that's all I'm going to do today. What I think is interesting in here is that, we talk about the different kings. We talk about Cyrus. We talk about Darius. We talk about Artaxerxes. And how they seem to be in agreement to go ahead and let's build the second temple. And thanks for listening.